Good afternoon, Pep. Before we talk kind of football matters, some serious, obviously, developments in Barcelona yesterday. I just wondered, you're a long way from home. I guess you feel even further away from home at the moment when something like that happens.
No, of course, the thought is for the people who died and is in difficult conditions. It happened in France, in London, and unfortunately happened and everywhere, and we don't know. But Barcelona will wake up and we show again how beautiful country it is, Catalonia and Spain. So, and all the best for the future.
If I can ask you then about football, Tony Pulis at his press conference this morning said that West Brom had turned down a bid for their centre-back, Jonny Evans. What's the situation with Manchester City, Jonny Evans? And
He's
West
a player for West Brom, so it stay the same. Tony Pulis was clear, so nothing to add.
Expanding then perhaps, but not talking about him, how much would you like to have another centre-back for this new season?
We try to do the best squad as possible for the long season, and we're going to see how the market finishes at the end of the season. So we have to stay with the players that we have right now. We'll be happy, and if someone can come, so we'll be happy too. So I know how good the club works since I arrived here, not just that season, the season before. So we try to do our best, and sometimes it's possible, sometimes not. So nothing to say.
But if nothing happens between now and the end of the month, have you got a squad good enough to do the things to win the titles
like last season? So every season I start, always I believe my players are the best, and always we talk about my staff, with the club, with the sport director, with Chiqui, with all the players of the club. We talk about. Everyone has his own opinions, and after that we decide what is the best to make our club stronger and our squad stronger.
Pep, should you be successful then in adding another squad player, how concerned are you that could send a negative message to the younger players that are already here, the academy players that are desperate for a chance?
I think the academy players was in the big ones, important ones are here. So Phil Foden, Brahim, Tosin, that guys are here. They don't play in the first team just for the fact they are just in the academy. They have to win that situations. But Phil and Toves and Brahim are with us since the beginning. Will be training with us all the season. It depends. After that, it depends the same quality for the other guys are here.
And then just with the squad that you do have now, what's the situation fitness-wise? How is everybody ahead of the game on Monday?
Yeah, they are good. They are fit.
No problems whatsoever with anyone?
No, the same that before. So Ilkay came back for the few minutes for the first time after 7-8 months. Mendy is at the last part of his rehabilitation, still not 100%, but is almost done. And Fabian Diaz too is the same position Mendy. So we have all the players fit.
And have you got any date for Gundogan when you think he could come back?
He played few minutes in Girona, so we're going to see. So he's really well, training well. He needs time, confident. So when you had the problems he had in the past, with not just with the injuries for the last 2 years, always is a little bit, So it has to be 100% sure he's ready. But he played a few minutes, and that is the first step.
Hi, Pep. You'll be up against Ronald Koeman on Monday. How impressed are you with the work he's done to his squad over the summer?
Not just here in Everton, he did well in Southampton and Benfica and Valencia. And everywhere he was, he made a good job. He did a good job.
Hi, Pep. Kyle Walker missed the trip to Girona. Just wondered what the reason for that was.
His wife is pregnant, so he's already almost father again. That's why he stayed here to wait the beautiful moment.
I also wanted to ask about Benjamin Mendy. After the goal against Brighton, he tweeted something which caused a bit of controversy. People thought it was disrespectful. I wondered what your opinion was of that tweet, and do you advise your players on their social media?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what he said, but of course he tried to. The private life is a private life. Of course he has to respect. In the social media, they know that about what happened in the club and the opponent. So, but I think the guys I have in my hands, The guys I have in this squad, they are so good, nice.
Hello, Pep.
Good people, nice people.
Hello, Pep. You made several signings in the summer, but I think people were surprised of how many players Everton have signed. What do you think of the players they've signed, and could Everton be actually genuine contenders for the top spots this season?
They are a top squad. They had a top squad. They miss important player like Lukaku, but they bought good players, midfield players, strikers players. So they are one of the best teams in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure of that.
And of course, one more, because Ron commented yesterday that he admires the way you play football, but he knows that you will play with a high defensive line, attacking all the time, which leaves spaces behind. He used that last season at Goodison. Do you think you need to change it a bit when you face him this time?
No.
Hi, Pep.
It's not a secret. So I'm manager since 9 years. And I have to announce all the managers in the world, my space is behind. They know that. 9 years, so you can show it. Even when I played the final of the Champions League, it was a lot of meters behind. I'm not going to change.
One of the big problems last season, as you said last week, was the team creates a lot of chances but doesn't necessarily take them all. They score 60 or 70% of them. Have you seen any improvements in pre-season and last week at Brighton?
In Brighton, no. Against Tottenham, no.
Can you improve that without bringing in a new player?
No. I have enough good players in front, so just relax and score goals, that's all.
If you can bring in a new forward, is that something you're trying to do before the end of the window?
All the strikers in the world, the clubs try to buy, always the desire or the focus is they score goals. So when all big clubs around the world buy players, for example, PSG buy Neymar for score goals, Manchester United buy Lukaku for score goals. So every manager in the world when try to take a strikers for score goals.
Do you think you're missing out on that then by not having, at the moment, by not having bought a striker? Are you missing out?
I have two amazing strikers, there are 9 strikers, like for example Gabriel and Sergio, but I have Leroy, like I scored a lot of goals last season, the minutes he plays, and of course Kevin is a guy who scored goals. He's 15 goals, he can score it. So last season he made 22 posts, so just the half of the post he created for himself, scored goals. We will make a good advance, a step forward.
Pep, just one more from me. You have a new home from home in the Etihad on Monday night. You have a new dressing room, an amazing space. How much were you a part of that, and how pleased are with you?
Me?
Yeah.
Nothing. With the
You
decision of
didn't
the
talk-
club. No.
It's not your design, not
No,
at
no.
CFA?
No, I'm not an architect.
How much do you like it, though, then?
So did you see it, no?
Yeah.
And?
It's amazing.
So, no, it's good. It's good. But believe me, it's not my. I am a lot of business to do about handle this marvelous squad. The rest of the part is decision of the club.
Hola, Pep. Sí que t'han preguntat en anglès abans, però t'ho pregunto...
So, could you send a message about what happened in Barcelona yesterday, a message to the people? Well, obviously I'm very affected for what happened, so my best message and thoughts for the families and the victims. Obviously, it's a really important place in the history of Barcelona, La Ramblas. So again, my thoughts are for the families and the victims of the tragedy. And I'm sure the city, the country will stand up and will move on, and just wish that it won't happen again, neither in Barcelona nor in the rest of the world.
Pep, tornant al futbol, l'any passat vam preguntar-te...
Last season, Everton had Romelu Lukaku in the squad. This season, he's not there. Does their game change much with or without him?
M'atacarà la meva esquena.
Well, I expect they are going to play the same way, attack in our back. Players like Sandro or Rooney are used to play in that way. They have a very strong defense. Their midfielder is also strong. They have great players. They'll take advantage of the counter-attacks. They are dangerous in that, so that's the kind of game I expect.